Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
It's Waffle Box time.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It
Gets the people going.
You know what old Jack Burton always says at a time like this?
My crotch is itchy.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. Now don't call me Shirley.
What would you do if you had $1 million?
2 chicks at the same time, man.
We just thank the Lord she didn't live to see her son as a mermaid.
You killed a hooker!
Call girls!
No,
she was
Cyril, when they're dead, they're just hookers.
This time we are sure she's a woman, right?
Why do you want to listen to the TV with the stereo on?
Because I like to party.
Let's do this!
Welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, and nothing all at the same time. Did I say anything twice? We also talk about everything. Episode 24 coming up this week. We're talking about the National Toy Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which I'm sure everyone has been waiting for us to talk about. Marvel's Eternals, and also some more stuff to waffle on this week. My name is Mike Fish, and as always, I'm joined by Mr. Trucker Duffman Kush Hayes. How you doing, buddy?
It's Waffle Box. It's the best part of Wednesdays. What's good, Mike Fish? What's good, Surf Squad? Mike, did you realize that today, Wednesday, is actually been 701 days since St. Patrick's Day 2020. What that means is that's at least when California closed. I don't know about New Jersey or the rest of the world, but it has been 701 days since that.
Spectacular. I do remember vaguely getting excited about St. Patrick's Day plans, which is basically just an excuse to go out and drink. But then all that happened. I was like, oh, what's going to happen to St. Patrick's Day? And thinking it was going to be like a 2-week break. Here we are. Oh, what we didn't know then, eh? What we didn't know.
Well, we still don't know.
No.
But it's all good.
It's all good in the hood. What you been up to? Hey, I've heard you had some funky weather over there in the Bay Area.
It was actually much worse 2 weeks ago, but yeah, we had a slight downpour. Thankfully, nothing that leaked through the ceiling, which was actually a problem 2 weeks ago. Otherwise, it was fine. It was a nice light weekend, surprisingly quiet. There was a tragedy in my neighborhood. We don't want to delve too much into that because it's kind of just going to bring the show down. Other than that, I was able to hang out with some friends for the first time in months to years. So that was really good. Saw the Canelo Alvarez fight, saw the UFC. Don't remember much of either of them, but I remember having a good time and just thinking this was a nice break, and I tried to absorb as much of it as I could. Clearly unsuccessful. And then my cousin exposed me to everybody's sweetheart, Ted Lasso, and I have to report after watching the first 3 episodes, I was like, okay, I get why people like this. And then after the first season, I was officially able to declare it, believe the hype. This is a great show. Lost me in some places for season 2, but still enjoyed everything overall.
Wow, so a lot to take. So a very combative weekend followed by some adorable Ted Lasso action. What a weekend! I
think much needed. I think it was very, very mellow, very therapeutic. A nice change of pace.
So I've been
welcome more Ted Lasso.
I've been way out of step with the UFC. So was that on the same night as the boxing? Was it kind of one after the other, or?
It was at the same time, which is unusual because UFC and boxing were usually pretty good about trying to avoid each other. I guess this wasn't the night, but
I mean, it's pretty tough now. UFC is on every other weekend now. It's pretty crazy.
Every weekend, some days during the week, multiple channels, pay-per-view, double paywalls. Once UFC crossed over to ESPN Plus, and they updated their website so that you have to click tabs as opposed to the original format, where it literally just gave you all the information you needed on one page. I obviously pandemic also, but I haven't been following much UFC at all these last 700 days. So
Yeah,
but it was nice. It was a good card. Almost everybody bled. Almost everybody got knocked out. I think the only decision was Rose Namajuras' win over Wei Li, and those two had another fucking classic again. So yeah, it was a good night.
Damn, you're a bloodthirsty man. I had no idea about this. There you go. But yeah, I haven't watched it because ever since they went through it double, because you have to get ESPN Plus and then you have to buy the pay-per-view. And I mean, I have ESPN Plus, but just the cheek of it, something like they send me an email saying, "Hey, an exclusive offer for ESPN Plus subscribers for UFC," thinking like it's gonna be some discount. It's just the exclusive deal is that I'm technically saving $6 because I've already paid that $6. Like, I just paid for it
so
2 weeks
dumb.
ago. Yeah, it's just
That's so dumb.
So screw them. Screw them.
When I was following UFC, I really enjoyed going to my favorite bar to watch it, and then I would also engage in some DraftKings action. And more times than not, I would win. No serious money, but enough to at least cover the few beers I had that night.
Free beer technically works.
Technically,
can't complain. I had a weekend. I did a little thing called like the New York Giants. Went to see them. I'm now officially 1-0. My first game and they won. So I'm their lucky charm. So I should be given free tickets to every game, and they'll have an undefeated season. I'm just putting that out there.
That's hard to argue. I cannot argue that against.
I have the stats to back that up.
New York Football Giants, get out there.
Although, if we were to delve deep into it, I was actually in the concourse getting beer every single time they scored a touchdown. So I never actually witnessed it live. So maybe if they gave me free tickets, it'd like force me to stay in the concourse. So it would be swings and roundabouts, it's not great.
It's only stupid if it doesn't work.
Well, let's try it once. Giants, give me tickets to the next game, whatever you call them over here in America, Yankee land, you crazy, crazy Cowboys. We'll sort something out in the future. Okay.
There it is.
Moving on. We got some exciting stuff to talk about. So, National Toy Hall of Fame induction ceremony was this week. Did you watch it? Did you catch it?
I wasn't even on my radar till you brought it up yesterday.
Oh my God. It was like the thing to watch this week. I can't believe it was, everyone was talking about it at the water cooler. I'm joking. I have no idea about it. But I only came to mind because I just saw the heading and it talked about one of the toys that got inducted into the Hall of Fame this week. So I'm going to talk to you about toys that were inducted this year, but then I'm going to do a little quiz about past inductees because some of them are pretty incredible. So while I'm talking about this, start getting into your brain box there and start thinking, okay, what legendary toys, Hall of Fame,
pretty good toys,
worthy toys. Right? So I want you to get it. Okay, so Hall of Fame, which I didn't even know was a thing, but apparently it goes back. I'm trying to look on the list. 1998 is the earliest one I can see. So it's been going quite a while now. National Hall of Fame for toys. So they announced this year's recent inductees. So I'm going to read you off some of the ones that kind of got nominated but didn't make it through, just so you can kind of work out the level we're talking about here. So,
sure.
Nominees that didn't make the final cut: Battleships, pretty good game.
Didn't make the cut. Really?
Didn't make the cut. Billiards.
The actual billiards.
I guess what you'd call snooker. I don't know.
No, we call it pool, but snooker is a whole other game. But billiards is almost as old as craps and prostitution. What the fuck?
Neither of those are in the Toys Hall of Fame either. So it's grace.
I'm smelling a conspiracy.
Cabbage Patch Kids.
Okay, that's interesting.
Don't know what this is. Fisher Price Corn Popper. Any idea?
It's like a vacuum cleaner for kids. It's just imagine a little hub. It's got a dome. There's a bunch of balls in the dome, and then the kid runs it across the carpet. It's got a little staff. So he's literally just pushing it like a vacuum cleaner, and each
Oh,
rotation
and
of the wheels it just
like the
pop, pop, pop,
little
pop, pop,
balls?
pop, pop, pop.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know what it is. Okay, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Mahjong.
Also interesting. Wow.
I think
Again,
that-
mahjong, craps,
Yeah,
prostitution, billiards. What the
Mahjong,
fuck?
the big four. Masters of the Universe
Interesting.
didn't make the cut.
Okay.
The Settlers
I
of
already said it was
Catan.
already in. I don't know what that is.
No idea. And a toy fire engine. Pretty generic there. No, nothing specific. Just a toy fire engine. So,
All right.
the three.
So I would have guessed Masters of the Universe would have definitely been in the Hall of Fame. Those other four that I just criticized, I would not have even guessed they would have been included in this gimmick, but there it is.
Well, get ready to have your mind blown, my friend. So, the three big ones that made the cut. One, American Girl Dolls.
Oh, weird.
Is
Those
like
are-
is American Girl? Is that a brand?
That is a brand. They've been around maybe 20 years, maybe a
Yeah.
little longer, but not as long as Masters of the Universe.
Well, yeah, the
Definitely not as long as Mahjong.
picture of the American Girls doll that we've got in our thumbnail this week is creepy looking doll. It's a creepy looking thing. Number two, Risk. That's a classic.
Mhm.
That's a classic.
See, I would have thought Risk was already in there with Battleship. It's weird
And-
that Battleship didn't make it and Risk did.
And number one, Sand. Yep. Let that sink in.
Sand?
Sand.
I didn't know sand was a toy.
Neither did I. That's what caught my attention for the story. So in 2021, Sand
Backyard sandbox, I guess. Okay.
was
Sure.
inducted to the National Museum Toy Hall of Fame, whatever thing.
It's the only one they didn't have to license, as opposed to American Girl and Risk. Jesus.
So apparently they have some criterias for what
Oh,
makes it
okay.
in.
Please.
So according to strong officials, so it's like the Strong National Museum of Play. This is who don't do the Hall of Fame. So according to their officials, the National Toy Hall of Fame recognizes toys that have engaged and delighted multiple generations. Criteria for induction include one, icon status. So the toy is widely recognized, respected, and remembered. Longevity. The toy is more than a passing fad and has enjoyed popularity over multiple generations. Discovery. The toy fosters learning, creativity, and discovery through play. And innovation. The toy profoundly changed play or toy design.
The
I
American
remember-
Girl doll definitely does not belong in those three. Again, it is the youngest of those three. It's just a doll. Well, it teaches girls that they can wear different clothes. Like that's about it. It's nothing special. Like sand, okay, you can build shit out of it, or like you can do little painting or whatever. It's the backyard box. I get it. Risk, again, strategy, longevity. I get all that, but American doll, what the fuck?
But when we I'm going to reference those criteria later when we get to the other things that are already in there. Then the article goes on to kind of gives, because I'm going to put a link in the description of this video so you can actually see the official induction ceremony. It's hilarious. But so in this article that they released, I guess it's a press release or something, they give mini biographies of the three toys that were inducted into the Hall of Fame. And so it was somebody's job to write I guess, biography of Sand. And I'm going to read it to you.
Now, sand has been around longer than prostitution. So
that's
good for you, Sand.
That's got that going for it. Sand may be the most universal and oldest toy in the world. Educator Maria Montessori has argued that sand is only one substance that a modern child is allowed to handle quite freely. Okay. Children recognize sand as a creative material suitable for pouring, scooping, sieving, raking, and measuring. Wet sand is even better. Ready for kids to construct, shape, and sculpt. Sand provides unique opportunities for tactical, physical, cooperative, creative, and independent free play. I would argue that, if you are going to play with sand and create things with sand, the best type of sand is the wet sand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where's water? Because that's pretty much doing most of the heavy lifting.
Oh, yes.
No recognition for water as a toy. If sand
and
is
water again, everyone has a bathtub. Everyone has been to a pool or a lake or some sort of body of water that they were able to swim in. Splash, 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 splash. I splashed you in the face with more water. You toss a kid into the pool. That's always a good time. Water balloons. Yeah. If sand is in the National Toy Hall of Fame, where's water? What is this bullshit?
Where's prostitution? So moving on, we're going to play a little quiz. So to date, other than, so I'm just trying to work out here. Okay, so there are 74 toys currently inducted into the National Toy Hall of Fame.
Okay. And how long has the Hall of Fame been in existence?
So it was
10 years.
It was formed 1998. So what's that? 23 years.
Sure.
So out of those 74, Mr. Hayes, I am going to give you a maximum of 10 guesses.
Oh, well, that's generous.
To guess 5. Okay, so you got to guess 5. Okay. So you got to get 50% correct here. Good luck.
I can guess 10, and I need to get 5.
Yeah. So your first guess,
okay,
Mr. Hayes.
Light bright.
Light bright is guess number 1, and that is a on your first guess.
Fascinating. That's all right.
It's tense. All right, guess number 2.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, it's not looking good.
If Masters of the Universe wasn't in there, it would be weird if they were.
0-2.
Barbie.
Bing, 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 bing.
Hey.
1. Barbie is in there, inducted in 1998, so she was a founder of the Hall of Fame.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm going to say she's right there with her main man, G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
Action Force.
Bing, 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 bing. Inducted 2004. We're bringing it back. Come back, kid. Kush Hayes. Guess number 5.
Easy Bake Oven.
Bing, 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 bing. Inducted 2006. You're on fire now. You need 2 more, and you got 5 guesses.
Clue. The board game Clue.
Bing, 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 bing. Inducted 2017. Oh, what's that? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you got 4 guesses remaining. Only 1 correct answer to find. I think I made this too easy for you.
Monopoly.
Monopoly, inducted 1998. Founding father. 5 out of 7. Look at that. 3 guesses remaining. Impressive stuff, Mr. Hayes.
Thanks.
So I'm going to list off a couple more that jumped off the page to me because I want to, again, bring back these, the criterias, I guess. One of the big ones is like innovation. The toy profoundly changed play or toy design. So
the hula hoop.
The hula hoop is in there. That was inducted in 1999. Inducted 10 years before. Inducted 10 years before the ball.
Wow. The ball. Amazing.
Yep. So the hula hoop was also inducted 6 years before the cardboard box. I mean, I'm not questioning that one because that like if your parents like bought a new like
Sand's
washing
in the fucking
machine,
Hall of Fame, so why not a cardboard box? I played in many cardboard boxes.
cut some holes in
But
it,
if a
make it a
cardboard box
spaceship.
is in there, the back school dumpster has to be there too. Okay.
Inducted in 1998, the Erector set. I don't know what that is, but it made me giggle.
That was like Legos before Legos. They were all made out of metal, and it's lots of screws. And
oh yeah,
it's definitely before our time, but that was a big thing.
Wasn't that like Meccano? Or maybe that was a brand in England. Meccano.
That might be a specific brand.
Inducted 2010, The Game of Life. Now, is that a game, or are they just saying, "Hey, life, man, life's a game"?
No, there's a board game called Life, and
okay.
I believe the full name is The Game of Life. And you start out as this little peg, and you got a car, and you roll the dice or you turn the wheel or whatever, and you move a couple steps, and next thing you know, you're married. You could have up to 6 kids. You could be a doctor. You could be a janitor, and you just the further you go on the board, you're trying to get to retirement, but consequences, repercussions, and joy all follow along in the game. People die. It's actually a pretty wild game considering like how basic it is.
Sounds fun. Next one jumps to where this is giving me my reference. The hula hoop, 1999, inducted. Trying to work this one at 18 years before the paper plane.
Okay, yeah, why not?
And then
there's a lot of very abstract things here that are.
This one might be one of my favorites. Inducted 2020, sidewalk chalk. Very specific.
Yeah, okay.
Not any other chalk. It has to be specifically used on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
Can't use it anywhere else. Otherwise, it's not a toy.
It's weird that it wouldn't just be chalk. But I actually remember reading that headline and just going, "What the? Why not just regular chalk?"
But then I think this was my awesome, most favorite one. Again, National Toy Hall of Fame, created in 1998, waited until their 11th anniversary in 2008 to induct the Stick.
Yeah. I'm surprised the baseball bat isn't on there, but maybe that falls under the Stick.
Yeah, baseball bat is not in there.
The Stick you can use as a bat. You can play as a sword. You can just beat a fool with it. Like play with the dog. Go fetch. Yeah, lots of. So capitalism with toys and toy consumerism is so rapid that you literally forget. Like, oh yeah, just imagination. So sand, water, stick, paper plane. Just these basic stupid fucking things. Chalk. Like,
yeah, I feel bad.
Absolutely
like
be in the HOF.
Like, imagine having to be the guy who holds the. Because I imagine pre-COVID there must have been like some audience invited to these things, the induction ceremonies. So I imagine in 2000
insiders though.
In 2005, being invited to that and having to watch people do speeches about Jack in the Box and a cardboard box.
I remember the first time I played with a stick. And then he just waxes on from there.
Do you reckon he makes remember I first played with a stick? My parents said I should stop doing it because I'd go blind.
Mm-hmm. Is a soccer ball in there? But I guess that just falls under ball. Okay.
Ball, that's just a ball.
Ball is just a ball.
Star Wars action figures are in there. Again, specific.
But He-Man isn't. Shenanigans.
I know. It's bullshit. But soon, maybe next year. Maybe we should start that He-Man
campaign.
Hashtag He-Man for 2022. Hall of Fame He-Man 2022. Hashtag
HOF He-Man 22. There you go, kids.
I'm writing that down just so I can remember for next year. Because I won't.
HOF He-Man 22.
You heard it here first. Join the Search Squad. So that was fun. Toy Hall of Fame. Congratulations. If you do want to watch Sand being inducted into the Hall of Fame, check out the link in the description of this video. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button. Cheers.
It would be great if they got Hayden Christensen to induct Sand.
Wouldn't that be adorable?
That's a Star Wars reference. I don't know how many people got that. I don't know if you got that, Mike Fish, but I'm just going to let that hang there.
I think if they listen to us do 15 minutes about toys, I'm sure they're the kind of person that got that reference.
Probably.
All right, before we move on to the next little topic, I just wanted to do a quick shout out because I only just heard about it. It's sad news today. Dean Stockwell passed away, age of 85. Legend. I didn't know that he started his acting career in 1945. This guy,
85 of his natural years, 70 of them, he was an actor. Like, that's amazing.
Obviously, for me personally, I know him more as Owl from Quantum Leap. And he was also in Battlestar Galactica.
I sat out Battlestar, the newest iteration and the oldest iteration.
But yeah, Owl's a legendary character.
Owl's a legend. I did not know like how deep his resume went. I didn't know that he was nominated for an Oscar for Married to the Mob. Completely forgot he was in Married to the Mob. That's more or less considered a Michelle Pfeiffer vehicle for anyone who even remembers that movie. However, Dean Stockwell, he will be missed because his role on Quantum Leap, dude, that shit was epic. You know, Owl's amazing.
Just keep.
God damn it, Cushy. Yeah, always smoking a cigar. It's fun times.
Fun times. R.I.P. Dean Stockwell. Okay, so pandemic's still a thing, but it does seem from this one report that we may be finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel because apparently in the UK, people are finally selling the shit that they bought during the pandemic because they've finally realized, why did I buy this? So buyer's remorse over pandemic purchases. So again, this is one of those things. I have to start reading more things. I never judge a book by its cover because I saw the headline and I was kind of like, well, that's a boring headline. But then I had some time to kill. So I clicked on it and I read it, and now it's like I just can't stop thinking about it. Okay. So apparently 1 in 10 people have expressed their regret over buying items ranging from hot tubs to DIY tools during the pandemic. A survey has suggested. There's more about the hot tubs in a minute. So yeah, COVID lockdown, surge of sales, yada, 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 yada. So this is insurer Aviva in the UK saying that expensive items are now gathering dust, including gaming equipment, DIY tools, home gyms, bikes, clothing and jewelry, musical instruments, kitchen appliances, such as bread makers, garden furniture, pizza ovens, and hot tubs. All appeared in the regret
bread
list.
makers.
Yes. So I did a quick Google. I don't own a bread maker, never have.
Good.
Like, you can get one for like $100. Now, I'm not saying $100 isn't a lot of money, but who's going, I really shouldn't have spent that $100 a year ago. Like, let it go. It's gone. But that serves a purpose. Bread, you can make bread. Like, I can get like people bought hot tubs, regretting that. For a bread maker, you can use that. That's good stuff.
So, if you remember, one of the trends during the pandemic, along with like, oh my God, I need a haircut. It's been 90 days. Was people making bread? I guess bread was scarce in some spots, so I get that part. But other people were just trying to be cute about it, and so then there was a flour and a yeast shortage for a few months, along with your toilet paper and other bare necessities needed to survive life. A bread maker was even suggested at one point in this house, and I shut that shit down real quickly. I was like, yo, this ain't Russia. All right, we don't have a problem getting bread, and you don't make too many sandwiches as it is. So let's hold off on the fucking bread maker. All right, it's not going to be a thing. And thankfully was not.
Dodge a bullet there. Yes. One of the things that was hilarious is another company they're talking about the claims that increased, and it said, and quote, Faced with weeks or months at home, many of us made purchases to entertain ourselves, often costing hundreds or even thousands of pounds. In England.
Mhm.
Claims included incidents of parasols falling into hot tubs and birds pecking holes in the covers. So it's a very hot tub specific. Like, this is just someone
Oh, gotcha.
bitching about a
Yeah.
hot tub, and they've made up an article about it. That's what I'm thinking of.
Well, so
And
some
it-
J-Brone out in the UK bought a hot tub, many apparently, but then they didn't understand that there's actually like maintenance and upkeep that you have to do with that, like you might an automobile or other expensive items that are complicated, and they just didn't want to do that because all they know of hot tubs is going to one at the Motel 6 or their that special friend who's unusually successful for whatever he does. Okay. But he has a hot tub, so that's what I know about hot tubs. I don't worry about the maintenance and the upkeep until one is now sitting in my backyard. And so many chemicals. What am I going to do with it?
Now I have to clean this shit.
Now I have to clean this shit? Ew, there's a condom in there.
Oh, why is there a dead animal in there? Oh my god.
Why is there a dead animal in there? Because I haven't used it in 4 months and we didn't leave the top on it like we should have.
That's why I would never have one here, this neck of the woods, because I would easily wake up in the morning and there'd be like a deer in there or a possum or something like that. Squirrels.
I
Oh my
remember-
god. There'd be a squirrel party in there.
I remember being in my early 20s and one of my homies was like, yo, my dad's out of town. We should go over to his place, use his hot tub. Like, we got some girls here. It would be dope. So we did all that. And then he's like, yeah, you know what? I didn't realize I needed to clean the hot tub. So we can't do, and that's why I know any of that. He's like, yeah, I don't know what to do with this bleach and this chlorine and the chloroform. Oh my God.
Just wing it, and then suddenly, like, everyone at the parties, like, next day, everyone's blonde. Oh, I think I went
Great
too
way
much
to-
on the bleach.
Great way to get a staph infection. No, thank you.
And amongst other things, I imagine.
Amongst other things.
I know where
we didn't use the
girls
hot
have been.
tub that night. Yeah, we don't know where anyone's been. Yuck.
So did you end up? I mean, obviously you dodged a bullet with the bread maker, but did you end up buying anything stupid?
Negative. No, we kept it to bare minimums, just food. I had food, medication, stuff like that. Honestly, we did not make any elaborate purchases. I think maybe the craziest thing I bought was like the Cheers box set last
Calm
Black
down,
Friday.
Kush. Jeez.
Well, man, it was $30 compared to 110.
YOLO.
Like, YOLO. And it was a great experience and it was a great purchase, and I still watch to this day. So I think that was the craziest thing. Little Sister Hayes bought me a drone. I would say maybe that's the craziest thing that was acquired by me this past 700 days.
Yeah, there's no remorse there. You paid exactly $0 for it.
No remorse for me, definitely. But also, I was just like, at first, I was like, well, this will be cool, and maybe I can use this with work. And then you start like doing the research and doing the math, and finding like, oh, I actually need to be registered with the FAA if I want to operate this. And you definitely can't fly it over anybody, okay? Because the app loses signal, the battery just randomly dies. Any random hiccup that you can or can't imagine, that sucker just drops out of the sky like a rock.
But you can get some sick pictures of your bedroom, I guess.
I guess.
So do you think your sister has buyer's remorse in that? Do you think she's like just sitting at home holding that receipt, and then every now and again she'll like mention to you, hey, so do you use that thing?
We talk about it quite often. We are still trying to get me registered with the FAA. Like it's a tool. I should be able to use it. I just haven't done the homework yet. That's embarrassing because I was hoping to have it done by October already. So yeah, tap. It's now November.
Almost Christmas. Exciting stuff
We'll
going
figure it
on.
out. We'll figure it out.
We're gonna put up our Christmas decorations soon. And when I say we, I mean us. Like I've got some special overlays looking for Christmas. It's gonna be exciting.
Okay, are you actually gonna like decorate the whole house?
Our whole house is gonna be Christmassy.
Oh, that's
Like-
gonna be great. I want to see
like-
photos of that.
No, our house, as in me and you.
Oh.
Like our box is like up here,
Oh, okay. Well, I like that too.
down there. It's all gonna be Christmassy. It's very nice. I'll give you a sneak peek after the show.
I'm a sucker for a theme and a gimmick, man. That's great.
The only thing I had, because I think I had buyer's remorse. Like I kind of look back and think, do you know what? I should have wasted some money.
You should have bought that thing. Oh,
Should have. I
that's
should have
interesting.
bought like game console that I'll probably never play, but at least I have it.
Mm.
Or Mac. Or
What game console would you have bought? The PS5?
I don't. Yeah. See, I do want to pay PlayStation 5, but as far as I'm aware, aren't they just still like gold dust? I have no idea. I haven't actually looked now. I remember people.
So I
bitching about
understand.
to get them.
I understand. After a year, it's still hard to get a PlayStation 5, but my cousin has one. But he also has two kids,
flex,
going through a divorce and runs his own business, so he has no time to play it. And I was just like, "That's dumb. Why'd you do that?"
Well, if he wants to ship it over to New Jersey, I know
He
a guy.
doesn't.
Or whatever.
He'll
Whatever.
probably ship it here first. He'll probably ship it here first when the PS6 comes out. And I'm like, "Hey, right on."
Right on, right on. Yeah, no, to be fair, I was actually pretty smart because the only thing I was thinking about buying was like an iMac, a new computer.
Okay.
But that's not crazy. I'd get daily use out of that. So I'm pretty boring in terms of that. Maybe I should have just got a hot tub.
Nah. I think you made the right choice by not doing anything. Again, like we just
especially
kept
where
it to
we
bare
live,
necessities.
we live on like a slope, so it'd be like, or the wall would just be pouring. Like,
Yeah, the water would just be there we go.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not sexy. You need your water at 0, sir. Not at 35.
Gotta be sexy and press those scrolls. Beautiful. All right, it's now time, I guess. Kush's movie review. It's Kush's movie review. Kush goes and watches a movie at the movie theater, and then he's going to talk about it now. Ba-dum-bum. This week on Kush's movie review, what do we got? What do we got on
Marvel's Eternals?
Of
is
course.
the name of the game. Maybe the most controversial Marvel movie out of the past 26 now.
Yep.
So Marvel's Eternals, it's got this thing dates back
That's a
as
good
far
one.
as 7,000 years.
Marvel Eternals. Ugh. That's what you started. That's how you started the review. That's a good sign.
That's fair. That's fair. So let me just spill everything up front before we get into spoilers. I enjoyed this movie. I don't necessarily understand all the hate. It's 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 36 minutes.
No, there you
Normally I'm like, we could cut a half hour here, 20 minutes there, whatever. I think you needed every minute in this, but I also felt every minute of this. Having said that, I still enjoyed it. It's definitely trying to be the most different Marvel movie out there, but it's filled with nothing. There's four Marvel Cinematic Universe references during the film itself, and then there's still 2 hours and 36 minutes left of movie left. So if this probably would have been better if it was not attached to the MCU, but it was different. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's going to win any trophies whatsoever, and I'm still curious about what the controversy is.
Are there are the references to the MCU like worthwhile, or are they just kind of we need to link this up so at some point someone goes, "Hey, do you remember Thor? That was crazy." Anyway,
so Thor did come up. Thor comes up because Kumail Nanjiani, he's been around for 7,000 years. He's like, Thor used to look up to me when he was a baby, but now he won't even return my calls. And it's like, all right,
he's dead.
All right, that's a funny sounding bit of dialogue. All right. The littlest one, Sprite, is like, what do you think is going to happen now to the Avengers now that Tony Stark and Captain Rogers are gone? All right, that's a thing that happened. Someone else does something else. It's super. Oh, in the trailer, you see Salma Hayek is like, Thanos, came here and killed half the universe, and then the universe, the people of this planet, brought everyone back with a snap. That's what Selma Hayek sounds like to me. And that's it. Again, there's 2 hours and 36 minutes left of film after those 4 references. It's good. But it's, again, it starts in the year 7000. They're characterized as gods, but they're actually not.
So the movie's based in the year 7000.
The movie is based in the year 5000 BC and then goes forward to our present.
Gotcha.
That was a fair question, Mike.
So they're aliens, right?
They are aliens. They are here with the intention of protecting humanity from a race of beings called the Deviants, so that mankind will evolve and thrive and become better than they ever thought they could have been. But then there's going to be a twist, and we'll get into spoilers in just a minute if Mike is comfortable with that.
I'm sitting pretty comfortably.
All right, Corvy. There's again 10 fucking actors in this, and nowadays with Marvel films, we're used to a very large cast. However, I think Angelina Jolie is the biggest name in this. She is maybe used the least, which is kind of disappointing because she's also the best. Excuse me. The 2 guys from Game of Thrones are in it. One of them is Icarus. He's kind of a mock Superman type character. He's fine. Gemma Chan, you might know her from Crazy Rich Asians as Astrid. Astrid is my favorite of all the Crazy Rich Asians, FYI. She was also in Captain Marvel as a completely different character. So this is a whole unique thing here. But this is definitely her movie, her and Icarus's movie. And then she has all of her supporting characters. Camille Nanjiani, I just mentioned. Brian Tyree Henry, who people know from FX's Atlanta. I forget the name of the character he plays, but he's the tech guy. And then there's a bunch of other people whose names I just don't know. The guy who plays Gilgamesh is my favorite. He's just the Korean strongman. But again, they're aliens. So what's a Korean?
Well, strongman.
Or a strongman. Well, I guess everyone's very strong in this, but he's just all brute force. So you'll see him engage in fisticuffs with just some giant CGI lizard. He'll go pop, 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 pop. He'll knock it down. He'll turn around to say something quippy. The creature will get back up, and then he'll just front slap it in the face, and then it'll just be knocked out forever. And you'd be like, that's the greatest thing ever, Gilgamesh. You're the man.
Crazy Gilgamesh.
Oh, Gilgamesh.
Classic Gilgamesh.
I think the biggest reaction my audience gave to this movie was for our 2 mid and end credit scenes, and then Camille Nanjiani's valet, whose name escapes me, but he had all the best dialogue. He's given Captain America speeches. He's literally just a regular ass human dude, just kind of caught up in this, but he's just like, man, fuck those deviants, man. Let's get out there and let's fucking, you guys are the Eternals. Let's kick some fucking ass. And you're like, yeah. you tell him, Ranjan, or whatever that gentleman's name was. But he's my second favorite character.
So question for you, because obviously, like
question, Mike Fish, Waffle Box. I hear you. Go.
Yeah, it's Mike Fish, the Daily Waffle Box. My question is for you. So obviously, you talk about Marvel Universe. Like I say, we're very used to lots of casts and characters and all that good stuff. But obviously, this is the first mention of the Eternals. How is the introduction of 10 new characters done well, or does it feel kind of rushed and you kind of like, what the hell is going on? Do you get a good feel for each character, I guess is what I'm saying?
You don't get a feel for each character, but you do spend enough time with them that you understand the premise. But then when we get into spoilers, I'll tell you what the twist is, and you're like, All right, something's not right here. Something's not right here with one or two things, but okay, it's whatever it is. Like, so there's a character that's super fast. There's a character who can control man's minds with a thought. The tiniest one, it can actually create illusions. She can make herself look like anything. She can make everybody disappear or be invisible. Selma Hayek is the ringleader, but then you got Icarus, who I just mentioned, and he can fly. He's got super strength. He's got laser vision. Angelina Jolie is the warrior, so she just stabs everybody. Gilgamesh is the strong man, so he just punches the shit out of everybody. Camille Nanjiani is always doing like fireballs and little pew pews from his fingers. It's like pew pew pew, you know. And I guess he can only control his energy burst so much because sometimes he has to like build up a charge and like throw a Street Fighter Ryu fireball. I'm surprised he didn't say anything like that, because they tried to do all sorts of little cute references at one point, like, you know, Peter Pan comes up and so and so Bollywood movie comes up. There are specific references to what society has faced because the Eternals exist. Yeah.
Okay, so before we dive into more major spoilers, then, what would you give this out of 5?
I don't think it's the best Marvel movie by any means. I do believe is very well done, though. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I don't understand all the hate. There's a gay character, and it's really inoffensive. There's supposed to be a big deal about two characters actually having heterosexual sex, but once we get into our spoilers, you're like, what do you mean?
I did see that. Wasn't there's certain countries that have banned the movie because Disney refused to cut out the gay character or some shit?
Most of the Middle Eastern countries that I don't have a list in front of me here, but it was most of them.
But they're saying like that they wanted them to edit out, but you can't edit out a character because that's gonna.
It's not necessarily the character they need to edit out, but they're like, Brian Tyree Henry is the character I'm talking about. And he's in a gay relationship. They're raising a son. He kisses his husband. He kisses his son. Like they're affectionate, but it's not over the top. It's like, you know, this is what people do today, you know.
There you go. That's where the controversy. Come on, because even now you've got if you put a gay character and then you got you got an Asian main character as well. This is too much for some people to handle.
I understand that. So it's very well done. Again, I didn't think you needed to cut any 1 second of it, but you feel its length. So I have no desire to see this again, but I enjoyed what I saw. That's what she cut out all those inaudible groans or whatever that was.
That's what she said.
That's good. Cool.
Definitely feel the length.
You cut that one out too.
You could definitely feel the length. You said that.
I did.
Oh, I'm such a child.
You are.
Clip
That's
that.
Okay, I love you still.
Feel the length.
Now we're banned in Saudi Arabia because I said I loved another man.
Well done.
So, do you want to hear spoilers? I don't want to give out all the spoilers, but let's give out some spoilers.
I want to hear about what happened after the credits and all that good stuff as well.
Yeah, sure. All right. So, folks, I already told you it's 4 out of 5. I thought it was a good movie. Most folks aren't digging it, so that's on you. Otherwise, you got Spider-Man 3 Part 2 in the next 5 weeks, and then 2 weeks after that, you're gonna get Morbius. So more Marvel goodness coming towards you if this isn't up your flagpole.
Well,
having said that,
real quick though, isn't Morbius part of the Sony Marvel universe? It's not so is Spider-Man. No, but no, yes, but you know, I mean, Spider-Man has been integrated into the MCU, even though it still is a Sony property.
He's probably going back to exclusive Sony now.
Oh,
But they could also change shit. We don't know. What they are doing is they now have a Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man,
a live
yeah,
action
so
Spider-Verse. You've got your
Venom, Morbius,
and Tom Holland, whose name was escaping me there. But who knows if even he'll be around after
Venom.
this next Spider-Man movie.
Oh, Tom Holland. So no. Yeah, yes. Anyway, okay, cool. So, all right. So before we get to the post-credits, then, is there anything of merit to talk about how this movie ends? Did the deviants show up and there's a big battle that's of any note, or is it?
So the deviants aren't even necessarily the bad guys. They're bad dudes for sure, but
there's a plot twist.
It's the Celestials. It's the guys that the Eternals are working for. All right. You know who Galactus is? He's not in this movie, but do you know who he is?
No, not off the top of my head.
That's okay. Yeah, it's not a trick question, dude. You don't know. That's fine.
Judgment-free zone.
Judgment-free zone. So the Celestials make life. They are bigger than gods. All right, and they are literally bigger. There's actually some great scenes here where like Selma Hayek or Gemma Chan will be this itty bitty little speck floating in this giant screen that's not even the full face of the Celestial they're talking to. That's how much space they absorb. All right.
Haven't the Celestials been referenced before in Marvel movies? Though?
Guardians of the Galaxy, yes, sir. All right. There's the city of Nowhere, which is occupied inside the severed head of a Celestial. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So these are those people.
Hey, so who cut his head? Oh, okay, I'm going to get too ahead of ourselves. But anyway,
I'm sure we'll get into that in Eternals 2 or Guardians of the Galaxy 3 or Doctor Strange or something or other. So here's the plan. The Celestials send down the Eternals. The Eternals are actually synthetic humanoids, or what we just might call robots. They have artificial intelligence, but they're there for a purpose, and it's kind of a cult-like following. Once they complete a job, their memories are wiped. They put on a little ship, and they're transported to the next section of the uncharted galaxy to create more life. How they do that is they're put on the planet. The goddamn, what are the deviants? So the deviants are fucking up the man. The Eternals beat the deviants. Man evolves, and it's literally that three-pronged cycle. All right, and every now and then, like the Eternals will toss us like a tool. Here's a knife. Oh, here's a plow for your farm. And it's like, all right, great. The purpose of all of this is eventually there's going to be enough life on this one planet that will create enough energy that a Celestial is born out of that planet, a new Celestial. And it, in effect, destroys that planet and then sets life out in the next part of the uncharted galaxy. That's how Earth was created. That's how all life has been created. And it's only because of Thanos. Thanos wiped out half of life in the galaxy. So all of the Celestials' plans were put to the side for a long time. And then the Avengers saved the day. Life came back. And then Selma Hayek went, wow, these motherfuckers really figured it out. We should spare this planet and we should focus on the rest of the life. But we should spare this planet for sure. So whatever was going to happen here, we shouldn't do that anymore. And so some people have a problem with that. Some people are super cool with that. But the Eternals have their inner qualms. It's about balance. There's again 10 characters in the Eternals crew. 5 of them were supposed to be thinkers. The other 5 are supposed to be the brawn versus the brain. There are rules that contradict itself. Like for each brain, there should be a brawn, and that doesn't necessarily always be a thing. But then again, they're still robots. So 2 of the characters fall in love. Brian Tyree Henry has a whole gay relationship. 2 characters have a thing for each other, but decided to spend millenniums apart from each other. One of those people is actually deaf, Mike Fish. I don't know. How do you feel about your robots being deaf? It's kind of weird that that would be a thing.
I'm still getting my head around a gay robot.
What about a straight robot?
I like my robots to be heterosexual.
Well, again, things get more complicated. One of the robots looks like a 12-year-old child. Bitch is 5,000 years old, but she looks like a 12-year-old child. You know, and that's fucking with her life. She's like, oh, I got a crush on one of the other Eternals, but I look like a child, and I can't have a relationship with anyone in their 30s, let alone their 80s, let alone in their teens. Like this, there's loneliness, there's anxiety, there's pain, there's trauma, there's joy. There's a lot going on in this. I think I spoiled everything worth spoiling. So yeah, again, I enjoyed it. Don't need to see it again as far as I'm concerned, but I appreciated where they were going with it. They're probably going to have a second one for sure. They at least would like to.
Get to the good bit then. What's the post-credit shit?
It's dumb shit. So Jon Snow from Game of Thrones is also in this movie, and he's apparently a secret Marvel character. Some English bloke with a broadsword that comes from a lineage of English blokes with broadswords. But this specific sword, like, steals souls.
Wow.
We didn't get much into that, but then there's a whisper off to the side, and personally, I thought it was Sam Jackson's Nick Fury, but I am told it is actually the new Blade. It's escaping me right now. And everyone like, oh! People made that noise, Mike Fish. The second spoiler was the introduction of a character who he was actually introduced in the end credit for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Adam, aka Star Fox,
aka
no relation to the Nintendo game, aka Harry Styles.
I don't think it was. No, The Rock's, is it Black Adam in DC?
Black Adam's in DC.
Ah, damn it! I thought The Rock was in it.
No, sir. That's DC.
Now,
Harry Styles is a
I got
British
appreciation
musician who I don't know anything about.
I got appreciation
go
for
ahead.
Harry Styles, but when you think, oh, it's The Rock, Harry Styles is a letdown. Sorry, Harry.
That's between y'all. I don't have anything to say about that. I don't know anything about the Harry Styles, but I do know that, again, the biggest reaction in the theater was some dude who, once Harry Styles came on screen, and I don't think this guy was a Harry Styles fan, but someone was going, oh, yeah! More obnoxious than that, because I didn't want to wake up my neighbors here. Some dude was super excited to see Adam, aka Star Fox, not affiliated with Nintendo, on that screen for its 45-second window. And I was just like,
that's what he paid money for.
This means nothing to me. This means nothing to me. I don't care. I don't care what this commercial is for the next film. But there you go.
I'm sneezing a lot.
Well, we're going into winter,
Unless
pollen
me.
being upsettled, dust, etc., etc.
All right, what was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, before we wrap up, did you see the final Ghostbusters trailer?
I did not. I'm going to see it next week. I don't need to see the trailer for it.
Fair enough.
I understand it pissed off a lot of people, and I was also like, folks, it's so for one.
Wait, what? The final trailer?
I thought it was this weekend. And once upon a time it was, but it's now switched over to the next weekend. So that's still less than 10 days. We don't need another trailer for 10 days from now, guys. You're in or you're out. You're into Ghostbusters Part 3, Part 4, or you're not. I'm going to see it. I will have a review for it on the following Waffle Box in 3 weeks. But no, I did not see the trailer. Do you have?
I mean, it made me hyped. I don't know how you could watch that and be upset, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that there are several YouTube videos like, this is the worst thing ever since 9/11. And it's just like, something's wrong with you, man. It's not the trailer. It's not this commercial. It's you.
Take a look in the mirror, pal.
Take a look in the mirror, please.
If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. I'm the mirror. I'm asking him to change this movie. Oh,
That's really good, Mike.
Thanks. YouTube's gonna chop shit up. Copyright. That was too good. A song. So that's it then. This week, what else? Other than this amazing podcast, what are the good people of the Syrup Squad got to look forward to coming up on the Bosnet family this week, Mr. Hayes?
Bruh, we got busy November. So today, as we speak, we just dropped Kush and Kai 59, and I was finally exposed to the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. Prior to this, I'd only watched the first one when it first came out. I decided I wanted nothing to do with this entire series afterwards, but through a loophole, Kai got me to watch the entire trilogy, and we did an episode about it. That drops today.
You didn't watch all the
Next
directors,
week.
like the 6-hour versions?
No.
Okay.
I stayed to the 3-hour versions, and that was good enough for me. Overall, I don't necessarily like them any better. I understand why people do. I get the significance of them and the importance of them towards visual effects, but you'll have to hear the rest of the video or the rest of the audio. And Kai gets a little drunk. He's a little bit on that elf mead, so you might enjoy that. I definitely cut out the worst parts, but you should check that out. Mike, next week there's no real movie for us to talk about in theaters, so I'll be telling you about Netflix's Red or whatever the new Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, Gal Gadot movie is. Red Notice. Thank you.
And I will definitely be watching that as well. So it'll be a duo. We can actually talk about it together.
I'm looking forward to that. Netflix doesn't have the greatest history of their movies, but
sorry, it's Dwayne
I've
the
been
Rock
looking
Johnson.
forward to this since
Ryan
before
Reynolds.
the pandemic. I've been looking forward to this since the pandemic. So happy to be talking about that. I will also be seeing Rocky IV, the Ultimate Director's Cut, but you're not going to hear about that on the Waffle Box. You're going to have to go to Sweet Science Cinema the last Wednesday of this month. I believe that's November 24th.
Sounds about right.
Me and Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer Jameel Hemphill for the season finale. We're going to be talking about Rocky IV Ultimate Director's Cut, which is a nice little, what is that, a bookend? We started the year off with Creed. We're going to end it with Rocky IV. I think that's a good way to go. So that's going to be the Novembers for us. Otherwise, check out Microdose this Friday. I'll be talking to a group of kids called Cinema Bees, and they like movies. I like movies. We have fun. It's cute.
Awesome. And so remember, if you do want to check out any of these shows or anything else, go to bosnet.family. If you want to catch up on any of these waffle boxes, you can go to enjoywafflebox.com. If you want to buy some merch, you can go to wafflemerch.com. Follow us on social medias. I am at Mr. Mike Fish. He is at Kush_Hayes. All of those good links, like I say, go to enjoywafflebox.com. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you do want to check out the audio version instead next week, maybe you can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartMedia, Amazon Music, Good Pods, so many places that you can check us out. And if you are listening to the audio version, why not check out our beautiful faces and check us out on YouTube? More the merrier. But until next week, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.